Okay, so function is got to defined by f of x is equal to 7 minus 2x squared minus 12x. So let's go ahead and see what they want us to do. They want us to basically put this in vertex form. So let's straighten this out and put it in descending order. So negative 2x squared minus 12x plus 7. To find the vertex, we're going to do negative b over 2a. That's going to be 12 over negative 4. The x part of our vertex is going to be negative 3. And then we substitute in the negative 3, and we find out that our y is equal to 25. Once we know that, we know our vertex. And since we know our vertex, we can write it in vertex form. Vertex form is y equals a times x minus h squared plus k. I just got to fill in the a. The a is negative 2. And then x minus is going to plus 3 squared plus 25. Of course, they like to not have a negative sign in the front. So they put the 25 in front of the negative 2. And then we make it look like theirs and we're good. The vertex, well, we already found the vertex. That's negative 325. That's a stationary point. By the way, it's a maximum. So now in this next part, they've got a restricted domain. X is greater than or equal to k, but we need to tell them what k is, so it's going to have an inverse. Well, keep in mind, it's going to have an inverse if it's a one-to-one function. And if it's a one-to-one function, it's going to pass the horizontal line test. So what we want to do is find the smallest value of x that's going to make it pass the horizontal line test. Well, we could use this right here, but that would make it a one-to-one function. But the thing is that it's not the smallest possible value. If we go over here to the vertex, well, now that's the smallest possible x that it could be. So our x is going to be greater than or equal to negative 3. And keep in mind, the question wants to know what k is. K has got to be negative 3. Now in part 4, they want us to go ahead and assume that restriction. And then they want us to find the inverse. Well, if it's already in vertex form, that's a great start for putting it in finding the inverse. Keep in mind, when we're finding an inverse, we want to switch the x's and y's. And then we want to solve for y. So we're going to subtract 25. And then we're going to divide by negative 2 on both sides. And that's going to give us y plus 3 squared. And then we're going to square root both sides. And then we come down to negative 3. And then it's either plus or minus x minus 25 over 2. It's supposed to be negative 2. Anyway, we got to figure out what that's going to be. Now, one way to go about doing this is to put a point into the original. Clearly, 0 is an acceptable x. And so if I plug in 0 into the original function, well, that's pretty easy. You find out that 7 comes out. Y equals 7 when x equals 0. 0, 7 is a point on the original. Well, that means that 7, 0 must be a point on the inverse. So if I take this and I plug in the 7 where the x is, it's going to say 7 minus 25 over negative 2. 7 minus 25, well, that's going to be 18. And our negative 18. And negative 18 over negative 2, that's going to be 9. The square root of 9 is 3. So if the thing says y equals negative 3 minus 3, well, that's not going to work. So it's going to be negative 3 plus 3. That will equal 0. And that's how I know that I got the right guy. All right, that's all there is for that one. I hope that helps. Thanks for watching.